दिलों में प्यार की खुशबू तो होठों पर दुआ रखना। दिलों में प्यार की खुशबू तो होठों पर दुआ रखना। ईमान में वक्त से एक रिश्ता इश्क को वफा रखना। ईमान में वक्त से एक रिश्ता।
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Friday's Sermon for Kids, where, as you already know, we try to bring you just a little bit from the ocean of guidance from Huzoor's Friday Sermon. Nobody here has ever done this alone. Every week, helping me out are two amazing panelists who are with me right now. To my right is Waleed, to his right is Haris. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam, Rabbi Sahib.
Jazakallah for being here, guys. So, dear audience, beloved Huzoor, of course, is back from the United States of America after a successful tour for 3 weeks, and we are going to learn some of those amazing stories that happened over the past month.
फिर ज़ायन में भी, डेलस में भी, और बहुत बैतुर्रहमान मैरीलैंड में भी नमाज़ों पर औरतों, बच्चों, मर्दों की हाज़िरी होती थी और काफ़ी तादाद में होती थी। और जिस तरह वो मेरे आते जाते वक्त अपने जज्बात का इज़हार करते थे, साफ नज़र आ रहा होता था कि इनके दिलों में खिलाफत से मोहब्बत और ताल्लुक़ है।
So, dear audience, beloved Huzoor is back from the United States, and he discussed some beautiful stories and impressions that many of the guests and Ahmadis had about his blessed presence in the States. We're going to get into some of those stories for you, but before we do that, I come over to my panelists, whom I have to ask, as I do every single week, were you guys able to cover this week's Friday sermon?
Alhamdulillah, yes.
So, alhamdulillah for that, guys. So, what'd you guys learn?
I learned from the Friday sermon of beloved Huzoor that the weapon we have is the weapon of prayer.
Okay, Haris, your turn.
I learned that there was a youngster who told his friend that he was having some doubts regarding Ahmadiyyat and Khilafat, which were completely removed due to this tour.
Alhamdulillah, beautiful points, guys. So, dear audience, we now come over to your newly learned points. We're going to find those out in Kids Take.
Piara Huzoor quoted a guest from a church that she had never seen anyone strive that much as His Holiness Ayyadullah bin Nasr Aziz for the establishment of global peace.
Piara Huzoor said that USA tour was showered with Allah Ta'ala's blessings and prayed that may Allah Ta'ala's blessings continue raining down.
This week in Huzoor's Khutbah, I learned that 161 guests attended the opening at Feather Mosque.
I learned that Huzoor said everyone who gathered there had true love for Khilafat in their eyes.
This week I learned during Huzoor's trip to the USA, members were more than expected during prayers.
Jazakallah Ahsan al-Jaza, everyone, for your beautifully presented Kids Take. And remember, if you don't send in videos, we won't have anything for this segment. So make sure to send in your videos next week if you missed us this week. Now, let's get to our discussion.
The part that touched me the most was the fact that kids our own age, 10 to 12 years old, waited in line for over 5 hours just to pray behind Huzoor in the masjid.
That is incredible. And despite many people coming so early, the system ran very smoothly.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, Huzoor made reference to this particular point, the idea that Ahmadi Muslims in the United States were coming so early to pray. You know, Huzoor mentioned that many times we think of America as being extremely worldly and materialistic. Everyone's just chasing money and just trying to make money and forget about God and all that, right? And Huzoor said that for most of America that may be true, but for the Ahmadis that were living there, Huzoor mentioned this, right? Despite living in such a worldly society, they made the effort, even those people that had good jobs and everything, to come very early for namaz that they could offer behind Huzoor. And so beloved Huzoor mentioned how this fact of Ahmadis coming so early for namaz is a sign of both their devotion and then sincerity to the system of the Jamaat and Khilafat Ahmadiyya.
Alhamdulillah, that's actually beautiful. A Khalifa mentioning the love of his members for him.
No doubt there. But Huzoor mentioned many other amazing things from the tour, right?
Absolutely, Waleed, but to get into those things, we are gonna once more expand our vocabulary.
Alright, what's the word this time?
The word this week is tasurat. Yeah, it's a little big.
Yeah, that completely went over my head.
Same here. What in the world does that mean?
Well, that's exactly what we are gonna find out by going to our next amazing segment, where our trusted presenter Ashir will take it away with the word of the sermon.
Jazakallah Rabbi Sahib. So the word tasurat is definitely not a simple one. Its original root from Arabic is athara and means to leave a mark or a sign. This word tasurat, though, is from Urdu and translates to a simple English word we can understand very well: impressions. The singular word is tasur. Basically, when you do something good to someone, it leaves a good effect on them and they remember it. That good feeling of theirs is called an impression. Now, impressions could also be bad, but by Allah's grace, the only tasurat we'll be talking about today are the amazingly good ones, which so many non-Ahmadis had about coming to Ahmadi Muslim mosques, and most of all, meeting beloved Huzoor, may Allah be his helper. Back to you guys.
Jazakallah ahsan al-jaza, Ashir, for that wonderful explanation, and you are right, because those tasurat will be fueling the rest of our talk.
And my tasurat from Ashir's talk are that we have a lot more to talk about.
Yeah, from Zion all the way to Dallas. So many people had so many amazing things to say about Huzoor.
Exactly, Haris. Huzoor mentioned the example of the mayor of Zion who was there at the inauguration of this masjid, whose name is Bill McKinney. Huzoor basically said that this mayor's impressions were, when he attended that inauguration, he said that the city of Zion has a motto. It's that its future is going to be dynamic. And he said that this masjid, Masjid Fateh Azim in the city of Zion, is completely a part of that future, of that city. And regarding meeting beloved Huzoor, he said that he has been left speechless after meeting beloved Huzoor because of the character and his presence that he was in. So he himself even presented the key of the city of Zion. It's a way of honoring any very high guest that ends up visiting your city. You present them the key to your city by basically telling them you are always welcome to this city regardless of who the mayor is, right? And so he did that, right? And this shows you the amount of care, love, and amazing things that he expects for the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat.
Alhamdulillah. It's so beautiful how Allah increases the Jamaat in respect around the world.
Absolutely. What's even more important is how much respect he had for Khilafat Ahmadiyya.
That is absolutely right, Haris. And Huzoor gave even more examples from dignitaries. Huzoor gave the example of the Honorable Joyce Mason. She is a member of the State Assembly of the state of Illinois in the United States. And she says that, number one, she was very happy to be at the inauguration and she expressed that happiness, but she went into the history of it. She says that she is happy to know that the promised Messiah, the founder of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat, received a victory in the duel against Alexander Dowie, you know, the person that had challenged Islam and challenged the promised Messiah, because she actually expressed that it was the group, the people with the most respect and dignity and humanity that ended up winning that prayer duel. And then remember, these two are not alone. The mayor and Honorable Joyce Mason, there's over 160 guests that attended the inauguration of the Fateh Azim Mosque, and they all were extremely happy to be there.
And there are clearly way more impressions. Shouldn't we move on to the next mosque?
That we will do, Waleed, but we will do that by going to our next amazing segment. So for that, audience, we take you straight to the question of the sermon. Welcome everyone once more to our segment known as the question of the sermon, where, as you already know, you sitting at home as well as our two amazing panelists have 10 seconds to get the right answer to a weekly question. The question this week is, What is the third masjid that beloved Huzoor, Allah be his helper, visited in the United States of America, which is still under construction? You have 4 options. Option number 1, Masjid Fateh Azim in Zion. Option number 2, Baitul Qayyum in Fort Worth. Option number 3, Baitul Ikram in Dallas. And option number 4, Masjid Baitul Rahman in Maryland. Your time starts now. Time's up. Okay, what do you have, Waleed?
I think it's number 2, Bait al-Qayyum.
And Haris, what do you have?
I think it's option number 2, Baitul Qayyum Mosque.
And your answers are absolutely correct.
Alhamdulillah. The heart always fills with happiness, thinking of all the blessings Allah has given the Jamaat here.
Yeah, where our opponents try to bring us down, Allah enables us to build even more mosques.
But Huzoor mentioned a few facts that show even more blessings of Allah, right?
Absolutely, Waleed. Huzoor basically said that this event, the tour that he had of the United States, particularly the inauguration of the Fateh Azim Masjid in Zion, was very well covered in the media at large. And Huzoor mentioned how a very, very popular newspaper, it's basically a news outlet known as the Associated Press, published it, and in a very beautiful article. And this article was published by 412 different news outlets across 13 different countries, and they basically spoke about the history of Zion, how it started with Alexander Dowie and how he lost the prayer duel, and how now after over 100 years the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat has successfully inaugurated its own mission and its own masjid there, and it is spreading its message of peace and love across the world. So we have so many things just like that to be even more grateful about.
Subhanallah. And I feel like we're getting closer to saying Khudafiz to our audience.
That you guessed absolutely correctly, Haris. So take it away, guys.
Got you, Marabi Sahib. So dear audience, make sure to watch the full Friday sermon.
And make sure to get back to us with the old critical message.
Did you enjoy this week's Friday sermon for kids? Want to know how you can make it even better? Tell us what you learned from beloved Huzoor's Friday sermon, and send your questions and videos at this email, and we'll try our best to include them.
Now, we can't include all the videos you'll send every time, but you can see them all on our Instagram and Twitter at MTA Canada. Remember, at Friday Sermon for Kids, you're not just the audience, you make the show. See you next week.
Okay everyone, it's time once more for our review of the sermon. We had some brand new impressions and stories, so as always, pay close attention.
Beloved Huzoor began the sermon talking about his very successful tour of the United States in the past month. Huzoor mentioned how Ahmadi Muslims from the USA showed great devotion, and their coming to the prayers at the masjid hours before its time is proof of it. One Khadim even mentioned how he was getting reservations about Khilafat before, but this tour of Huzoor clearly showed him the truth and beauty of Khilafat Ahmadiyya.
This tour, though, was very successful in many other ways as well. Huzoor mentioned the incredible tasurat, or impressions, of the hundreds of non-Ahmadi guests who came to the events of Masjid Fateh Azim in Zion and Masjid Bait al-Ikram in Allen, Texas. The mayor of Zion specifically said he sees the Ahmadiyya Muslim Masjid as a beautiful addition to the dynamic future of Zion, and about meeting Huzoor. He mentioned how it left him speechless.
But aside many other guests saying beautiful things about Islam Ahmadiyyat and its message of peace and understanding given by beloved Huzoor, Allah be his helper, we also learned that all these events were greatly presented in the media as well, where a countless number of people saw the inauguration of the Fateh Azim Masjid in Zion. A famous news outlet Huzoor mentioned, which is named the Associated Press, published an article about it, which 412 different news outlets published across 13 different countries. For this, we should always be grateful to Allah for His blessings. Now remember, dear audience, these are again just a few flowers from the garden that is beloved Huzoor's Friday sermon, so
make sure to watch Huzoor's full khutbah.
And until next week,
Khuda Hafiz.
वफा रखना दिलों में प्यार की खुशबू तो होठों पर दुआ रखना इमाम वक्त से एक रिश्ता इश्क वफा रखना इमाम वक्त से एक रिश्ता इश्क वफा रखना